feel free to do that. But I think you know, so my name is Caroline Jens, and this is Justina Patterson, and we are Childcare Biz Help. And we recently launched a new platform called Childcare Sales and Marketing Automation Platform. It's a big name, but it does a lot of things. And so we're really excited to be able to offer this to childcare centers, you know, all over the world actually. And the idea behind it is to solve a couple of those main problems slash opportunities that you have in your childcare center, which is, you know, those enrollment dollars, and how do you capture those leads that are potentially going to your website or other areas of your business, and how do you capture those and then come up with a system on how to follow up and make sure you're not dropping the ball, or your team is not dropping the ball, and that you're constantly communicating, you know, to that target market. And so that's the first thing about this platform that we really love. Secondly, I want to thank Justina for this, but we've come up with some automation to also help you with the recruitment aspect of your childcare business, because we know recruitment is a huge headache right now. And so managing your recruitment process is almost becoming, or it could potentially be just as painful as managing your enrollment. And the timeliness of how you follow up on that recruitment candidate may be the difference between whether or not they stay at your center or go somewhere else. And so we did incorporate a lot of automation in this platform to help you with that recruitment need. And so we'll demonstrate some of that today. And then finally, the other piece that is so important in childcare is that onboarding. So what happens when that new hire does start, and you want to make sure you're not dropping the ball there. Are they getting trained? Are they up to speed? Is your director spending the time that they need to spend with that new hire so that they're educated on all the different policies, procedures, the culture of your center? So in our platform, we've worked in ways to basically send reminders to your director and your trainer, whoever in your organization that is responsible for that new hire. You know, we've built in some tools to help them do their job. So I think we'll get started with getting into our platform. If you do have questions, I ask that you feel free. There is a chat area, but there's also a question and answer area. So feel free at any point to, you know, send us questions if you're lost or confused. We have been in this platform for it feels like a year, just making sure it's right for childcare, making sure it's easy to use. And so we may be talking in a place that you're not comfortable with, so just feel free to stop us and let us know, and we can address that throughout. If we can't give you the answer that you need during the presentation, we'll follow up with you after. So what I'd like to start with is really the main area of the application that you're going to be using, which is kind of like, I like to call it like a white pages, because it really keeps, it's your entire customer relationship management piece, and that's managing every one of your contacts. And so we've housed an area where you can keep track of your current families, you can keep track of your current employees, your prospective families, your prospective employees, and if you wanted, we have some centers that are using this to keep track of their approved vendors. So if there's a vendor that you prefer your directors to use for, let's say, paper supplies or classroom materials, educational resources, you can create a list basically in this platform to where they can look up all your vendors in one spot. The goal would be, as you pull up this system in the morning, you would keep it up all day because you're going to be using it for various functions throughout the day. And so right now I've opened up my contact record, and we can track anything that you want to know about your contacts. So we have all the normal fields like your email, your phone number, if they have a web address, you know, what is their current address, But we also have custom fields. So there's all kinds of different fields that we can create and attach to any one of your contacts. So if you want to keep track of birth dates or anniversary dates or
anything, really,
anything,
we can create any kind of custom field for any information you would want to save.
Right. And then what's really cool is we probably could create some kind of automation off of that field.
Yes.
I mean, the possibilities are endless. So what's really cool is whatever you want to know and whatever you want to track about your contacts, we can create that for you. And then I like to dive into probably one of my favorite parts of this platform. It's called the Life of the Lead. And I really feel this is what helps our platform stand out from the rest of the competition that's out there. So basically, what this Life of the Lead does is it has every contact this Caroline Jens person has done with my company. And so you can see on November 30th, 2018, they got this email. They clicked the link in the email. So it will tell me everything that they did in regards to this email. Here is another one. An email was sent. I'll go into some more exciting stuff. But look, it's tracking literally everything I've ever done on this system. What's cool is if they filled out a form on your website, the form will actually show up in the Life of the Lead and it'll have all the answers that they completed on that form. So at any point, if you think about this from a director's standpoint, if I ever need to go back and see, what's been going on with my current family or a prospective family, maybe someone that you've been emailing back and forth, because your email will sync to this. So whatever email you send out from your email system, whether you have a Gmail or an Office 365, really pretty much any platform, that email will be housed here. And you'll be able to go back and look at conversations that you had with prospects, with families, with employees, and it'll all stay here in one central spot, which is super cool. It's kind of freaky because you can see we put a tracking code on your website. So every page they visit on your website will also show up. And it'll say, I don't have a good example here. Let me try to find. So you can see I went to the sales and marketing demo form and I went to that page. Let me try to find another one. Oh, I don't have a good one. Let's look up Justina since she's sitting here with us. We'll go on her Life of the Lead and see where she's been. Oh, you've been a busy girl too. So she's been to a few pages. So here's an example where she was at 3 different pages on the website. And what you can see here that's really neat is it tells you how long she was on every page. And that's really going to help with your marketing efforts. So if you start seeing that, someone is spending a lot of time looking at your summer camp page, maybe they're really wanting to learn about your summer camp, but maybe they haven't picked up the phone to call you or they haven't stopped in to do a tour. This would allow you to do some follow-up because you know specifically what they've been looking at in your program. You can see what pages people are really being drawn to on your website. Maybe you've got a testimonial page and people are going in there and they're watching videos and they're reading reviews, and that's just going to tell you that that's a well-visited page. So let's pay attention to that page. Let's make it the best it can be. We highly recommend a career page on your website. Are candidates going to that page and checking out the different things that you have on that career page? So again, the Life of the Lead in this contact manager is going to show you everything that you need to know about your contacts. And you're going to spend a lot of time in here. From an owner's perspective, it helps with accountability because you can, at any point go in and check out conversations your directors might be having with families, conversations they might be having with employees, all of that. You'll be able to read the email stream. And so from an owner accountability perspective, you can kind of go in and do some reconnaissance and see if people are being professional, if they're following up on time. And so that's really, that's comforting to know that you can go in there and do that without having them feel like you're micromanaging them and just you're doing it on your own time. The other thing that's really great about it is when your director goes on vacation, because they should be going on vacation, but when they do go, you don't have, everything doesn't just stop. You still have families coming in. You still have maybe conversations the director started with prospects. Now they're gone on vacation, and now your assistant directors, they're wondering, what was Sally having a conversation with this family about? They can go in the life of the lead and actually see, oh, you promised them, a free enrollment fee, or whatever it is. So again, it helps with accountability, but it also really helps manage those relationships that you're having, whether they're with prospects, with employees, or potential recruitments.
And I think a good part of that is it's so important in our business building that relationship that if the director's talking to Sally and then the assistant director has to take over, they still feel like they're being taken care of because the assistant director knows the conversation. Not just like, oh, well, I didn't know she said that, or they don't have to sound like they don't know what they're talking about. They can go and kind of check back in and like get a good overview of the relationship so they know and they have like a really good feel of what they've discussed.
Right. And it really, it makes you look professional and like you've got your stuff together. I mean, it helps with those little pieces of paper that are all over the place. And the other neat thing is that you can track here in this note area, you can track conversations that you had that weren't done virtually or through email. So, you can say whatever you wanted to say. I had this conversation with her this morning, blah, 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 and whatever you wanted to say. And that note would be stored in their contact record, which is, again, really great because it's not only capturing those electronic messages, but it's maybe conversations that you had back and forth. If you wanted to log a phone call that you had, you could log a call. And again, just whatever conversation you had with them, log that call, and then that would show up as a little telephone in the life of the lead. So here, that shows I had that phone call, maybe no one answered, whatever it is. But at least you can differentiate between was it an email or a phone call or some type of other method. But it's really neat to be able to go back and keep track throughout the entire relationship that you have with that person. And then I want to turn it over to, should I go back to my contact record?
Yes. So one of the things that we have talked about already is that there's the CRM system and it's the content relationship, customer relationship manager. But the other part of this is the automation, making things happen automatically without you having to worry about it.
Right.
You can set it and forget it. So one of the things that we like to do is we like to share a magic trick that we can do. So we've previously already sent the email, but can I drive for a second? We just went up to this little smart mail guy and then we clicked it and we just selected the magic trick. And we send it. So you could do this to send to your, potential families or any email that's already set up. You can just send it to one person instead of doing bulk emails, which we can also do. So we've already sent that email to Caroline, and now we're going to, she's going to perform it. So there is going to be a little bit of time it's going to take to get the results. So we'll have her do it, and then we'll revisit this in a little bit. So go ahead.
Okay. So this is the email that Justina just sent me, and it says it's time for a card trick. And they say magicians never reveal their secrets, but we'll tell you ours. Marketing automation gives you magic powers. So embrace your inner marketing wizard with the ability to, this really talks about what we can do. We can identify anonymous visitors to our site. We can trigger personalized communication based on different behaviors that they have. If you have a page on your website that, let's talk about your career page. If you have that career page is really important to you, we can trigger communication specifically to people that have been on that page. You can discover hot leads based on scoring that will apply to your prospects. And then at the end of the day, you're going to be able to track the return, because we're going to really optimize your entire funnel of leads that come in. So let's have some fun. So I'm going to go ahead and choose for all of us. I think I'm going to go with hearts today. And obviously I want to be an ace. And so magic is happening. Can you feel it? Next, check behind your ear. Did you check behind your ear? All right, don't do that. So check your email instead. So is this where there's a delay?
It's gonna take a little bit for the email to come through, so we can move on, and then we'll go back in a second and show how you performing this has changed some things in your life lately.
Right. So again, the reason we're showing you this is how this automation works and how really neat this system is.
And it's magic, so who doesn't like that?
Right. Right. So we were talking about that CRM, managing those contacts, but how do you get them? Like, how do they get in here? So one way obviously is manually. So if you ever just want to manually put a contact in here, the other would, during your onboarding period, we will import any contacts that you want us to import in here. But then going forward, we want to be able to capture leads. And so the way of doing that is like through your website. And so whatever your website entails, whatever it has, and whatever forms you need on your website, we have a really clear idea of the different forms. So one would be a contact us form, similar to what's on our website. Another would be an employment application.
Schedule a tour.
Oh, schedule a tour. Duh. We want to track our enrollment. So your families are going to actually be able to schedule a tour on your website, including picking a day and a time. So it's not, if you know the systems that are out there right now, when someone schedules a tour in your current CRM, they're only able to basically, it sends a notification to the director saying someone wants to schedule a tour. In our system, that client is going to be able to actually schedule the tour. And it's really exciting. It's a new upgrade that we did, and it's gonna really change your director's life.
And the good thing about it is you can set the hours, so they can't just schedule it anytime they want.
Right.
You tell our system what hours you want to be available, and then they can schedule based on those kind of parameters that you set for.
Exactly. Well, because you don't want 5 people scheduling a tour for the same time either. Right. So it's gonna be life-changing. So we're really excited about that. So again, we will be able to go into your website and embed these various forms wherever you want them on your website, or we can give code to your web developer. Either way, we're tech savvy, so we can do it both ways. So now that those leads are coming in, yes, your director or your enrollment specialist or whoever is getting notified, but we want to see one spot where you can see everyone that's in there. And so we've created a couple different pipelines. And so these are called opportunities. And right here is actually an enrollment pipeline. An employee pipeline. So it's those this is a recruitment pipeline for those applicants that might have filled out an employment application on your website. So as you can see here, we've got 5 different basically stages that applicant can be popped into. And so at the beginning, they're a new prospect. They went on your website, they filled out your application form, they would populate in this field. When they start responding to some of your communications, they become a responsive employee prospect. When your director determines that they want to schedule an interview with them, they would then populate in this stage. And again, it's self-explanatory. When the interview is complete, they would go in that next phase. And then once they're hired, they go in that final. At any point, you can set these reports to automate, to send out to whoever you want in your organization. So you could get a weekly email as an owner or director of, where everyone is in their pipeline, which is really, really great. And we can have as many pipelines as we want, but we've really narrowed it down to, we've got a recruitment pipeline, and then we've got our enrollment pipeline. So again, it follows that same kind of feel where it's that new prospect. Are they starting to respond? Do you have their tour scheduled? Is the tour complete? So that candidate will be moved along into various stages of this pipeline. For instance, here is, so this is my sales pipeline. So obviously I'm not a childcare center, so mine's a little different. But as you can see here, I've got a lot of different of these cards. So that's kind of how it all populates. So it's really neat. You can create various reports within the sales portion of this platform. So again, one, you can automate the reports to come out, but at any point you can go in and kind of look and see the probability of, you know, things closing and what the value of that is. And then let's go in here. I like to show this one. So what's really cool about this funnel is it'll show you, I don't know if you can see over in the left here, but basically it's going to tell you how many people you've lost at various stages. And how you can use that information at your centers, if you see that you're losing people, let's say you lose them at the stage of the tour. So they've come in, they've toured, but you haven't enrolled them. Maybe you need to do some training on giving tours, because maybe they're not closing that person, that family when they come in. Maybe they're not doing that like final ask for the enrollment. So you'll be able to really clearly identify what stage you're losing people at. Maybe they're not actually coming in to tour. So, you know, why is it that they're not coming in? Why is it they're not following up? So is it some communication that's not happening? But basically this is a really good tool that you can use to really manage how your staff is performing in different stages.
Mm-hmm.
So that is really, in a nutshell, the CRM portion and the pipeline portion of this product.
Did you get the email yet?
Let me see. The big reveal. So here is, get my, oh, that's my card I picked. If you guys remember, I said I wanted to be the ace and I picked the heart. So it says, pretty cool, right? This nifty card trick is no gimmick. It illustrates the power of marketing automation. But we're not done yet. See what else we have up our sleeve. So I'm going to click to see more magic, but before I do, let's just break it down because I want you to understand why we really showed this.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened is you visited the website, you clicked on various pages, and then immediately and magically, we were sent really great information via email that matched our interest. So basically, I went on a site, I said I liked Ace of Hearts, and so now this is coming back saying, we know you like Ace of Hearts. And it's even going to say my name, because we can get down to dynamic content that says, hey, Susie, we know your daughters, Kelly and Jill. You know, I mean, like, you can get that specific, which is, again, it's a little freaky, but the more you know about your contacts, the more.
And I think it's good because it's personalized without you having to send that personalized email. It does it all for you. So it makes the recipient feel like, oh, they remembered my name, they know my kid's name. Like, when you recollect that to families, they feel really special.
Right, right. So cool. And then within the product, you can, you know how sometimes it's hard to get a hold of your web developer to say, I want a landing page. Maybe you want a landing page because you're going to be holding a big event. You know, maybe you're going to have a baby massage class. That's been kind of a conversation I've been having with a couple of people lately. Let's say you're going to have an enrichment program and you're inviting people from the outside in. You can create a landing page within our program and have a form embedded right in there. And so that saves you time from, you know, having to ask your web developer to build you a whole new page. It's really simple to do in our program, and it allows you to do these types of dynamic content so that you can say those really personalized messages.
Yes. Should we see some more magic?
We should. Let's go see some more magic. So look, here's the content. It's got my name in there, and it's telling me my card is the Ace of Hearts. But wait, there's more. So check out additional tidbits we learned about you along the way. Oh my goodness. So what that's telling me is now they know that this is my name, my email, my phone number, here's my website, and so this is my company. And so they know all this information about me. And that's, again, what's so cool about this automation piece of our product is that you can really store a lot of information about your prospects, your current employees, and your current families, and you can use that information in an automated way to really make your business stand out from the competition.
And then, Caroline, if you want to go back into your contact,
all right,
and go to your Life of the Lead and refresh it. Can you click on the email? There is the email that she just got. And then you can go to the one previous to that.
This one?
Nope, the little website one.
Oh, yeah.
There is all of the visited web pages she visited. So it shows it immediately. So now she knows that she completed the magic trick and she got that email. So it takes a little bit of time for the email to come through, but not a long time. You probably got that before we looked at it, and it's there right away to look at.
Right. So again, now we can see who's opening our stuff. If you think about this from even an employee and a family level, so you know how hard it is to track whether your employees are actually opening their emails or newsletters, or are your families really looking at your stuff. This will tell you that. So if you send out, and I'll show you some templates we have set up, but if you send out a newsletter to your families, you'll be able to see not only who's opening that newsletter, but who's actually clicking on some stuff. Same with your employees. Let's say you want to have a quiz or something. You know, maybe you build a quiz on a landing page. You want to know who's actually completing certain things, who's opening the employee newsletter, whatever you end up using it for. You'll be able to go in here and check that out. And so, which brings up workflows. So we are able to do various workflows in here. And again, we talk about, it's not just about enrollment, but onboarding. So we can set up basically triggers that will get emailed out to whoever in your organization to remind them of the various stages of an employee life cycle. And so here's a sample one that we've done. Basically, a week before that new hire starts, an automatic email can go to the director, preparing them, having them remind them to prepare for that new teacher starting. Did you remember Joe is starting on March 1st? Did you get everything he needs ready?
Yeah, is the paperwork ready to go? Did you set up the email? Like all that kind of stuff. Did you tell them what to wear on their first day? Like all those kind of things that you don't always think about. It just helps you remember. Because there's so much stuff going on during the day, you can't possibly remember everything.
Right.
And I feel like sometimes when new employees start, it gets chaotic. You know, you're trying to remember everything. You're trying to get them acclimated to the center. But there's so many important pieces you need for state licensing and for all those things that you have to make sure you complete that sometimes, you know, you get so caught up in everything else that you kind of can forget those pieces, or they get pushed lower on the list, and sometimes, you know, got to take care of those right away.
Right. Well, then next thing you know, the employee's been working for you for 6 months, and you're like, well, what happened? So basically, we can customize this. We offer a suggested workflow that we recommend using, but we can do customization during your onboarding. And again, we can just set up various checkpoints along the way to send reminders to whoever needs reminders, to make sure that new hires' life cycle gets off to a good start.
And really with this, our recommendation is to keep it specific but generic enough that you don't have to go and fix it every time you make a small change in your onboarding process. So we keep it categorical as opposed to super specific in case, you know, a form changes and you don't say that this form is just this kind of topic.
Right. No, that's a really good point. Very good point. This one looks a little more intense. This is our recruitment workflow. So basically in here, a prospect will fill out an application on your website. immediately your director or whoever hires will get notified saying an application's been completed. And then a thank you email goes right to that applicant. So you don't have to do that anymore. That just gets automated, sent to them. This allows the director time to review the application and make a decision. You know, do we want to schedule a phone interview, or do we kind of want to put them in the no pile? And so based on a custom field that director would check would then automate additional workflow. So if you want to just push that person right to the no pile, it can automatically put them into a different list and send a message to that candidate.
That basically says thanks, but no thanks.
Thanks, but no thanks. And then it will, again, it'll help track the entire, we don't have to go over every step in the recruitment process, but it will help track that entire process so that, again, you're not dropping the ball, because it's almost to the point where as soon as you bring someone in and you interview them, you kind of want to hire them on the spot. So we can't drop the ball. Candidates have so many opportunities to get positions elsewhere. We need to make sure we're just really staying on top of this piece. A side note, you can capture video, and what you can do is ask those candidates to send a little elevator pitch about themselves. You know, send me a 30-second message on your phone about why you're the best teacher to hire for the job. And then that video can actually get uploaded into the life of the lead of that prospect, and that you'll be able to access at any time. So really cool things that you can do. The potential is pretty much unlimited as to the different types of workflows that you can have in our system. And then the enrollment workflow, again, this is probably pretty normal to what you've heard in the past, but you know, a family fills out a form on your website and the director can immediately get notified, you know, so-and-so set up a tour, and that family will get a notification back saying the tour has been set up. And I'm going to show you some of these emails so you can get a peek at what I'm talking about. This was the one I didn't set up, or didn't open up prior. So we've got, here's actually, let's go into some of the enrollment ones. These are templates that Miss Justina created that we will customize and brand for your child care center specifically. So this is an example of someone that has scheduled a tour. And so basically, obviously, it says, we can't wait to see you. If you have multiple locations, you know, this is dynamic content, meaning it would fill in the name of whatever child care center, you know, whatever location of your child care center, so they know. This down here will confirm, you know, the date and time of the tour. And then just for fun, we've actually got a little tour kind of ebook that we've included with this one so that the family could actually download and print if they wanted this tour checklist. But those are the different types of things that we can do within these custom emails. I'll show you a couple more. So here,
If you just go to the little gear guide,
oh,
preview it there, so you don't have to go back and forth.
She's so smart. So here's someone that actually came in and did their tour. So this is actually thanking them and telling how great it was for visiting our center. And so again, this is that dynamic content. So the family's last name would populate in here. And it's just again, this is an automated way to stay on top of the different stages of your lead.
I think it's also important to know, generally they say it takes 7 to 14 touches for someone to make a decision. So think of every interaction you have with them, whether it be a phone call or in person, as a touch. So it takes 7 of those generally before someone makes a commitment. You know, there is some variances in that, obviously, but even just these small little, like, we call it drip campaign because you
Mhm.
drip on them. You know, those.
Wait, I never knew that was why. That's so great.
I mean, I'm not sure if that's the exact reason, but that's what I'm going to say. To drip on them, to just keep like reminding them,
Mhm.
you know, that you're still there and you're around. And
Right. I mean, because we've all had those. So we come from childcare. We ran childcare centers. So we know that you have those moms that come in, maybe they just found out they're pregnant and they're doing their due diligence, trying to get on a waiting list because now, you know, most centers have waiting lists for their infant rooms. You're going to want to have conversation with those moms while they're waiting to have their baby. So this is a really great way to drip on them before they actually enroll at your center. Or even if they've enrolled, let's keep them in the loop. And so one thing that we've created is this newsletter. So if your center has a newsletter that they send out, you can do that right through here. This is a February one. And so basically, again, this is something that Justina could set up during your onboarding process that would customize a template so that you could go in and just modify the content on a monthly basis. And this one just kind of shows a little bit of news that happened in all the classrooms. And then basically, like, here's the dates in February that are coming up. But this is just a sample of a way I would share this newsletter with prospects, with families that haven't enrolled yet, haven't started yet, but may have enrolled. Keep them in the loop so they stay engaged in your center. And I want to show you also, just back up here. You know, we've built some, again, with recruitment. Wrong spot. So many locations. So again, with hiring, we have just a couple templates there that we've done so that you can automate that hiring experience. So here is that first email that might go out to someone saying, thank you for applying. And basically what we did is put our core values in there. You know, we put some pictures of, you know, why our staff basically loves working for us. Because another thing that we're finding is we get people applying, we get people saying they want to come for the interview, but then they don't show up. And I just feel, yes, part of that is the generational thing, but another part is we're not getting them excited enough about who we are and why they should come work for us. You know, we really have to build that in right from the start. And so offering these types of emails would help do that. And then again, so this is the person filled out, they came in and we want them to do a phone interview. So this again is just a fun way. But this is the elevator pitch. So this is, I'm the best, let me tell you why. So this is how they would, it might work.
Did I link it?
Ooh, it does.
I did link it.
Yeah, so here's how they would, remember I told you they could do a little quick phone video. They would just fill out their name, their email, and then here where it says choose file is how they would upload their phone video. They would just go in and collect it. So again, really cool stuff, really cool stuff. So I won't bore you anymore with the exciting stuff that I feel with automation, because automation is overwhelming. So again, we help you with all this complicated diagrams and how we feel your ongoing communication should be with your prospects and your current families. So we'll help you do that. And we'll customize all those communications so that they're branded for your center so that you're putting your best foot forward.
And so really it's set up for you and you don't have to do anything. It's going to happen automatically.
And then during your onboarding, what we'll do is once everything gets set up, we'll train your team. So we'll make sure that you guys feel comfortable. And then you have unlimited support. So if you need our help down the road, you get a new hire that comes in and they just need kind of a refresher. That's something that you just need to let us know. And then we will definitely help you with that effort. Another thing I like to point out is analytics. So we all know analytics can be overwhelming, and honestly, who knows their Google login to get to their analytics, and how do you track all that and why do you track it? So in here, again, this is a one-stop shop where you can go in and see where people are coming from and what pages, where is the referral from? So as you can see here, people are coming from Hi Mama to our website. They're coming from, we look at social media, our top is Facebook and LinkedIn. Those are how people are getting to our website. And again, the importance of that is it helps you change your marketing efforts based on how people are finding you. And then you can see obviously trending and create reports and all that good stuff through here. And here you can also do web insights. And so again, this really gives you a feel of, here's some, what pages are your top pages that people are visiting. And again, that's so important so that you can look at your marketing efforts and making sure those pages are the best pages that you have. And again, these are where people are coming from, how they're finding you, and these are the pages they're visiting.
I think also as childcare center owners, I feel like sometimes you get really excited about certain pages on your website and you think they're fantastic, but potential families might not care as much about stuff that you care about. So if you're putting all your time and energy and maybe money into trying to drive traffic to these pages that people are not wanting information on, and you can see them and say, okay, it's cool, but they don't think it's as cool as I do. And you can kind of change your efforts.
Right. And you can log campaigns in here. So if you're doing Google AdWords, you can, see the results of the Google AdWords through here. I don't have mine set up yet, but you could do other campaigns. So if you've got a Facebook campaign, you could track any leads that are coming in from Facebook, and you can filter reports, which is really neat. So I think I've got some set up here. So for instance, we have a program called Need Another You, where we consult with childcare centers all over the United States, doing whatever they need us to do. We become another you. So that's Justina and I. But we have a box in our field on our website here that says, I need assistance growing my childcare center and helping focus strategies so I can be more intentional. So when people do select that, we can actually create a report that just specifically shows me that campaign and what people, who's clicking on that campaign and who's showing interest in it. So again, it's really unlimited. We can create custom fields, find out what amount of contacts are coming from those custom fields, and that's really beneficial so that you can customize your marketing efforts. So another cool thing is we have a social media tool in here.
I think everything is another cool thing.
It is. I said that every time.
We get really excited about it.
We do. So you can have all your social media activities in here. And what that means is, one, you can monitor your activity. So if you're not the one actually doing the posting, you're the owner, and you want to just go in one area, you have multiple locations, so you don't want to have to look at every one of those different pages on your phone or on your website. You can go right here, and for instance, this is location number 1, which for us is Childcare Biz Help. So I'm keeping track of my Facebook, my Twitter, and my LinkedIn. And so I can go in and I can see all the posts that are happening. If I had a multiple location, so if I had 2, 3, 4, 10 different childcare centers, I could put each location in here. And so just by logging into this one system, I'm able to see what all my centers are posting. And it's just, again, it's a really efficient way of looking at your social media. The other thing is that you can actually do your posting of your content in here. You'll be able to post to all of your platforms in one spot. And then what's cool is you can schedule out those posts for as far in advance as you'd like, and they would all show up on your calendar here. So at any point, again, from accountability standpoint, from a planning aspect, from a marketing aspect, you can plan your marketing activities and what you're going to do on this calendar and actually get them scheduled. And I'll show you how you do that. Just simply by creating a social post you can choose which platforms you want that post to go to. So I've selected to have it go to my Facebook, to my personal LinkedIn, to my Childcare Biz Help LinkedIn, and to my Childcare Biz Help Twitter. And just by simply typing my message, and I could add an image, I could add video into this message, and then schedule my post. I can either post it now, and it's just reminding me it's going to post to all 3 of these platforms, or I can schedule it for later. And then I can choose when is later. So I want to schedule it on May 8th, and I want to schedule, for 1:35 p.m. So that's how really neat, what really helps is we recommend that, maybe at the end of the week, you schedule out your post for the week and the next week coming so that that's off your plate. Mm-hmm. Just take that designated amount of time to go in and try to get your post done so it's off of your plate. But this is a really simple area that's built right into the system. Again, our intent, having run childcare centers, is for you to be able to go in one spot to log in the morning to this platform and use it for various functions that are going to help you get through your day running your childcare center.
And only one password.
Only one password. Which is so critical nowadays, because I know if you're like us, you've got what seems to be like 4,000 passwords out there. So it's really cool. This is the dashboard. The final thing I want to touch on is tasks. And so again, from an accountability standpoint, if I'm the owner, I can assign tasks to my team. If I want to keep my own to-do list in here, I can keep track of my own to-dos. And what's really neat is you can send a calendar invite. So for instance, if I want to tell Justina we're going to have a meeting tomorrow, I'm going to assign it to Justina, and I want to send her calendar invite. So what this will do is it will put a task out there for her by sending her a calendar invite. So I could do this for myself. I can send myself a calendar invite or not. You don't always have to use that function. If you just want to keep track of your to-dos, do that right through here. So again, this is about one area, one login, track everything that you need to track in one spot, and manage enrollment, manage your recruitment, and manage your onboarding all in one. Your social media, your analytics, your to-do list. So we really need to add all of that, but it's kind of overwhelming when we do. And the best part is that you can become a dragon like we are, and it's just something to shoot for. I think you start off as a grasshopper. So it's just that internal competition. If you're anything like us, we just enjoy that kind of fun stuff. But we've increased to 97%. Did you see that?
I did. I was going to say something, but I thought I would like, I thought, and I was like, oh gosh, we're 97.
We're almost at 100%. So that's good. Our goal is to get you to be a dragon. We want to make sure our clients are using this product. So we're going to do health checks with you once a month and tell you, how are you using the product? Here's what we see you doing. And so that's a commitment that we're making as a company, because we're here. Our industry is childcare, and that is the only industry that we're going after, because that is what we're from. And so we want to do whatever we can to make your jobs easier and to make your centers the most profitable and really great places to work. And we do that. This is one of the ways that we can help do that. And then, unless you have anything to add.
I don't think so.
So if you're interested in learning more, we would love for you to email us with questions, or we would love for you to sign up. Obviously, we would love for you to sign up. We know you're going to love it. We can go over pricing. The pricing is extremely competitive for everything that you're getting. And again, you're going to get us, our team that is 100% childcare background, and you're going to get all that customization done. We're going to be able to get you through that onboarding process, train your team, and then do those health checks after to make sure you're really comfortable using the product. And we're just going to be there as a lifelong partner for you and your childcare center. And then I just have to put a little plug at the end about our Need Another You program. It's something that we've been doing now for almost 2 years, and we work with childcare centers all over the United States, basically becoming another you. And our team is able to do everything from write procedures to working at the executive level with the owner, working with your leadership team, doing trainings, marketing your center, branding your center, working on your image, working on policies and procedures, literally anything that you need.
Culture.
Working on your culture. So we've got a really great team. We've had a lot of really great customers. You can go on our website, look at testimonials. But we just want to thank you for coming today and for doing a demo of our new sales and marketing automation platform. And we look forward to hearing from you soon. Bye, guys.